Our final speaker is Ms. Latoyia Jones. Born and raised in Cleveland Heights, she is truly a rising pillar of hope and inspiration for young people throughout northeastern Ohio. After graduating from the University of Phoenix with a degree in organizational psychology, Ms. Jones tried her hand in the business world. However, in 2012, she realized that she was being called to a different path, and that year she founded Alive on Purpose, an organization dedicated to building awareness for suicide prevention through support, intervention, and self-discovery. Ms. Jones has spent the better part of her adult life helping people tear down old ideas and beliefs in order to rebuild through knowledge, awareness, and healing. Ms. Jones teaches classes throughout northeastern Ohio to help both adults and teens bridge their past experiences with their efforts to become a new and better individual with unlimited potential. So it's an honor for me to welcome Ms. Latoyia Jones.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You guys can do better than that. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
There we go. How you guys doing? So I'm first of all so excited to be here and to speak to you guys. I want to share a story. Is that all right? Yes, good. I'm going to share a story about a woman named Felicia. Felicia was born in Kentucky, and she was born in a small city. It was one of those cities where everything was close. The store was next to the school was next to the houses. Felicia had 3 sisters and 2 brothers. Felicia wasn't liked that much by her brothers and sisters. She got picked on all the time. Some of you guys know what that feels like. So all the time, her brothers would mess with her, and her sisters would be jealous of her. Her sisters would take her clothes, her sisters would take her stuff, and Felicia would always get mad. Felicia was a quiet girl, but she was so loving and so caring, and all she wanted to do was have people in her life and in her circle who loved her. Felicia was special, but Felicia always felt like no one in her life loved her, no one in her life cared about her, and no one in her life knew who she was. At the age of 14, Felicia went to school, and when she came home from school, her house was burned down. Her 3 sisters were in summer camp, her brothers were playing outside at the basketball court, and everyone in her family blamed Felicia for setting the house on fire. This was the same young lady who felt like, if I could be loved, if I could get attention, then my life would be better. But now what do I do when I'm being blamed for something that I didn't do? Felicia was smart, but she wasn't smart enough to convince her family that she was worth loving. After the house fire, that family of 5 moved from Kentucky to Cleveland, Ohio. They made a living in Cleveland. They had a family in Cleveland. They got a new house in Cleveland. Felicia had to go to a new school. This was rough for her because already she had a disconnect between her 3 sisters and her 2 brothers, and she felt like no one loved her. So what happens to a little girl who goes to school looking for love, looking for attention, and looking for respect? It's called peer pressure and bullying. So now she walked to school, she would get beat up on the way home. She walked to school, she would get ridiculed on the way home. She tried to dress the best she could, she would get talked about on the way home. Felicia was a pretty girl, and all she wanted was somebody to see her intellect. All she wanted was somebody to see how beautiful and smart she was. Felicia, in my opinion, was very awesome. Felicia grew older, trying to get through school the best way she knew how because she wanted to be successful. She wanted to have that perseverance and that courage and that fight that Mr. Taylor talked about. She wanted to have all those things, so she kept pushing through her high school career. At the age of 18, Felicia met a guy. She thought he was the most attractive guy in the whole school. He played basketball, and she thought she had made it. Felicia and that guy had a baby together. And in her opinion, it wasn't a bad thing because now I have a person that loves me and I have a person I can love. Felicia felt like she arrived. Early in her 19 years of life, Felicia started using drugs. Now, what people ask Felicia, why would you use drugs? You had so much potential. You had so much life ahead of you. You had so much to look for. Why would you use drugs? Her mindset says, I don't know. It just kind of happened that way. So Felicia became addicted to crack cocaine. That beautiful baby that she had was just in the house. It was a byproduct of this drug abuse. That baby experienced so much. That baby experienced being left at crack houses. That baby experienced being left in cars and left in grocery stores. That baby even experienced being left at home. What do you do when mom doesn't come home because she's addicted to drugs, looking for love in all the wrong places, and baby needs a mother? Well, it's called foster care. So foster care came in and took baby from mother. Mom was upset, mom was mad, but everything in her said, I have to do better for myself before I get baby back. And so she thought she did. 3 years later, Felicia found herself inside of prison. Wow, so now the baby doesn't have mom. The baby can't go see mom because mom is in jail. Mom liked being in jail because in jail she got a meal. So she didn't rush to get back home to that baby. In 2004, Felicia died. Everyone said, wow, what happened to Felicia? How did she die? Well, she died of a drug overdose. What happened to that baby? That baby is me. At the age of 14, I found myself sitting on my bed, and I reflected on that story of Felicia. My father's name was Jimmy. And I remember sitting there saying, you know what? This can't be life. This can't be what I signed up for. I remember playing with my Barbie dolls when I was little and saying, I want to be successful. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be an actress. I want to be a model, even though I'm 4'11". I wasn't tall like him. But I really wanted to be Tyra Banks or something. And I remember sitting on my bed, I had a pill bottle, I had a razor blade, and I had a plastic bag. I was going to commit suicide. Because in my mind, as many dreams as I had, as many goals as I had, I couldn't figure out how to get there at the age of 14. Life for me was hard. And I remember sitting on that bed, and I don't know if you guys remember Sister Act 2, but the movie came on, and it was like, if you wanna be somebody, if you wanna go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention. I was like, I've been asleep, right? And I remember sitting on that bed and that song came on and I said, wow, I gotta wake up. I can do this. I can make it. I was 14 years old and I did not kill myself because I wouldn't be here today. But I said, you know what? There's something greater in life than death. And at 14, I had all these experiences. I had a mother addicted to drugs. I had a father who was in prison. I had a mother who had been to prison. I had been through so many foster homes that it didn't make any sense. Some days my last name was Jones. Some days it was Matthews. And I sat on that bed at the age of 14. I said, I have to be successful. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know the formula. I didn't have any books. I just had something on the inside of me that says, you are worth it. I was like the Energizer Bunny. I kept going and going and going. And no matter what people told me, I said, I got to keep going. No matter what my story looked like, I got to keep going. No matter who walks out on me, I got to keep going. No matter who leaves me, I got to keep going. No matter who's raising me, I have to keep going. And that's what I did. At the age of 14, 15, 16, 17, I found myself enrolled in a wonderful school system. I got A's and B's. I was smart. And I was like, I'm going to keep going. For me, that was called perseverance. For me, that was called courage. For me, that was called the ability to succeed past your circumstances. And I am aware that everybody in this world doesn't have that. There are some people on the way here, you saw they were homeless on the corner. There were some people on the way here, even in our families, that are not successful. But I made a decision in my mind that no matter what happened to me, I was going to be successful. How many people want to be successful? Raise your hand. I mean, like really, really, really want to be successful. Raise your hand higher. Higher. As high as it can go. Like to the point where it hurts. Right? Okay. And that's what I did. So you guys put your hands down. But for a long time, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, I would reach as high as I could go. And I would keep reaching. I don't know what I was reaching for, but I was reaching for dreams. I was reaching for goals. I was reaching for perseverance. I was reaching for a career. I was reaching for education. I was reaching for a better life. I was reaching for mentors. I was reaching for people to love me. I was reaching for teachers to be able to pour back into me. I was reaching for good organizations. I was reaching for anybody to come into my life and to help me make it better. Now, I know that life is not a beautiful painted picture for some of us. And I know sometimes we grow up and we say, hey, I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up for this deck of cards. I didn't sign up for this hand. But sometimes we get dealt one. And in my life, I took that hand and I played the best game of spades, that I could play. I had all the aces, all the, all the spades, all the hearts, right? And I made sure that this world knew who I was. I made sure that every step that I took, I made a mark on society. I made sure that everyone I came in contact with knew my name because I had a story. And I wanted to make sure that no child in the city of Cleveland, no child in my reach would ever be affected not only by suicide, but by depression, by low self-esteem. I couldn't have done that without my story. So today, it is so important to embrace your story. Embrace your story. Sometimes when I was growing up, people told me, Toya, just forget your story and move on. Forget your story and press forward. Forget that happened to you and be better. And I said, no, because it's because of it happening to me that I am exactly who I am. It's because of everything that I walked through, everything that I survived, everything that I became, that I'm exactly who I am. So if anyone out there has a story, I applaud you. You should be up here speaking. Because I am certain, I am confident that your story got you in those seats. Your story helped you write those essays, scholars. Your stories are going to get you to higher heights. Your stories are going to help you reach. Your stories are going to help you persevere if you understand that everything that you've been through is going to be the perfect resume for success. When I was younger, a woman told me, she said, "You are qualified." And I said, okay. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. And she said, qualified, you are the perfect candidate for success. And I said, well, I haven't been to college yet. I haven't been to school. I don't really know how to be. At the time, I wanted to be a teacher. I didn't know how to be a teacher. And she said, well, you're qualified already. I said, I don't have a degree, lady. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know how to be a teacher without a degree. And she said, everything that you've ever been through is preparing you for everything that you will see. And I said, that is powerful. Yeah, I said it just like that. That is powerful. And so I remember talking to her, and she said, mark my words. She said, the same thing that you need to help those kids when you get older is the same thing you have right now. And she was right. When I was younger, I had the biggest heart ever. I would try to save everybody and everything. I would give away my last to help other people. And today, I'm doing exactly the same thing. So once again, embrace your story, understand your story, love your story, and use that as the fuel, the fire, the perseverance, the tenacity to be successful. So I want you guys to do me a favor. I want you to clap one time if you want to be successful. Clap 2 times if you really want to be successful. Keep clapping if you want to be successful. Thank you.